Today's class is about the treatment of goodwill of a partnership firm under two circumstances. The first circumstance is when the new partner brings in his share of goodwill in cash and the same is withdrawn by the old partners. Then the journal entry for this will be cash account debited to old partner's capital account. When the goodwill or the premium amount is brought in by the new partner credited to old partners, then it is withdrawn by the old partners. The journal entry for this is old partner's capital account debited to cash account. Narration is amount of goodwill withdrawn by the old partners. There is one problem regarding to this. Rajan and Mohan are in partnership sharing profits and losses in the ratio 3:2. They admit Govind into partnership firm 40,000 as his capital and 9,000 as his share of goodwill. Half of the goodwill is withdrawn by the partners. They agreed to share the profits and losses in the ratio 4:3 in future. If the future ratio is not given, the old profit sharing ratio will be taken as the sacrificing ratio, and the goodwill is divided in the sacrificing ratio between the partners. So here the future profit sharing ratio is given, so we have to first work out the sacrificing ratio of the partners. For this we have to make a working note. Then we have to write first as the old profit sharing ratio, that is 3:2. So that will be, when it is written as fraction, that will be 3/5. 3/5 is the total of the ratios. 3/5 is to 2/5. The new profit sharing ratio is 4:3:3. Then that will be total is 4 plus 3 plus 3 will be 10. So 4/10 is to 3/10 is to 3/10. Then sacrifice of Rajan will be old share minus new share. Here the old share of Rajan is 3/5. So 3/5 minus new share is 4/10. So that will be 2/10. Then sacrifice of Mohan is equal to old share minus new share. Then that is 2/5. Old share is 2/5. New share is 3/10. So 2/5 minus 3/10 will give 1/10. So the ratio will become, sacrificing ratio will become 2/10 is to 1/10. So when wiping off denominators, we will get the ratio as 2:1. Then we have to write the journal entries. First journal entry is about the cash brought in as capital. Then the journal entry will be cash account debited to Govind's capital account. Govind is the new partner, so Govind's capital account. The amount is given the question 40,000. Then the narration will be being the cash brought in as capital. Then regarding the goodwill amount, cash account debited to Rajan's capital account to Mohan's capital account. Being the goodwill brought in by the Govind credited to Rajan and Mohan in their sacrificing ratio, that is 2:1. The sacrificing ratio we have already found out. The amount he brought up as goodwill is 9,000. So debit will be 9,000. Then this 9,000 is divided between the old partners sacrificing ratio 2:1. So for the first partner it will be 9,000 into 2/3. Second partner will be 9,000 by 3. So the amount will be 6,000 and 3,000 respectively. Then the amount withdrawn by the partners. It is said that half of the goodwill is withdrawn by the partners. The journal entry for this is Rajan's capital account debited, Mohan's capital account debited to cash account. The amount of goodwill given to Rajan is 6,000. So half of 6,000 is 3,000. Then for Mohan it is 3,000. Half of 3,000 is 1,500. Total will be 4,500. being half of the amount of goodwill withdrawn. Then next circumstances, then when the premium or the share of goodwill is brought in kind. Kind means it's brought in the form of assets. Then the journal entry will be when capital and premium are brought in the form of assets. Assets, we have to write the assets individually. Assets account debited to new partner's capital account to premium. Then narration will be assets brought in by the new partner towards capital and share of goodwill. Then the share premium transferred to old partners in the sacrificing ratio. The journal entry for this will be premium account debited to old partners capital account. Here is a problem regarding this. A and B are partners in a firm sharing the profits in the ratio 3:2. 1st January 2011, they admit C as the new partner, 1/4 share in the profits. C contributed following assets towards his capital and for premium. Stock is 50,000, debtors 70,000, buildings 1 lakh, plant and machinery 80,000. For the purpose of admission, the goodwill of the firm was valued as 3,60,000. Record the necessary journal entries in the books of the firm on C's admission and prepare C's capital account. So first of all, we have to find the C's share of goodwill. So here it is given the question is goodwill of the firm is valued at 3,60,000. His share will is given the question as 1/4. So 3,60,000 into 1/4 will be C's share of goodwill, that is 90,000. Then we have to draw the journal A, B and C journal. The date is given, that is 2011 January 1. So we have to write the date in the date column. Then the assets have to be written separately. The assets about are stock account debtors, debtors account debtor, buildings account debtor, plant and machinery account debtor to C's capital to premium account. The amount that's given in the question for assets are written separately. Then the premium amount, that is the goodwill amount that we have already calculated, that is 90,000, it is written here. Then for the amount transferred, amount of C's capital, we have to find by adding the assets amount minus 90,000. When adding this one, adding this all assets minus 90,000 will give the amount 2,10,000. Then the premium amount is transferred to the old partners in their sacrificing ratio. Here we need not find the sacrificing ratio as the new profit sharing ratio is not given. So the old ratio will be the sacrificing ratio, that is 3:2. So the amount of premium is 90,000. It will be divided in the ratio 3:2. So 90,000 into 3/5 and 90,000 into 2/5. That will be 54,000 and 36,000. Being the premium amount transferred to capital account of A and B in the sacrificing ratio 3:2 on C's admission. Then we have to draw the C's capital account. There will be only the asset amount regarding this. There is C's capital. C's capital account, the amount that is written 2,10,000 will be written here as assets in the debit side. Asset, that is here in this journal it is written as asset account debited to capital account. So when we are making the capital account, this asset will be transferred to the credit side. So the asset amount it's given as 2,10,000 is given in the credit side. That's all for today. Thank you.